Revelation 1360. From the 29th of March 1940. Neighbourly love. Earthly and spiritual distress. To practice the purest, most unselfish charity, is of unspeakable value for the development of the soul. This activity on earth already brings it a high degree of maturity, and the soul recognizes the blessed way which it has covered, when it dies. The human being should always be willing to serve and to give. He should always put the welfare of his fellow human beings before his own welfare. His innermost instinct should lead him to all works which are for the welfare of his fellow human beings. He should think of the body and the soul, help him in earthly need and try to remedy his spiritual need above all. To practice love in earthly life is the noblest task of man and the true following of Jesus. For it includes everything that God requires of him. The man who is lovingly active will become gentle and patient. He will also be peace-loving and merciful, for if he loves his fellow men, all these virtues are his own, for love is divine and thus also ennobles man's nature. If now man considers the poor state of soul of an erring man, he will have mercy on him and let his active help become active. He will give what the other lacks and introduce him to the truth, because his power of knowledge always lets him find the right to successfully control the misery of such an ignorant soul. To take care of the salvation of one's fellow man is the greatest work of mercy, because it spares him the unspeakable suffering that awaits an imperfect soul in the hereafter. And patience and love must always prevail, for this work is a laborious one, and it therefore requires the greatest love and patience if success is to be achieved. The way to the height goes only over love. Love can never be eliminated, because God is love. Seeking God without love will be without success, because eternal love can only be found through active charity. But love is just so little respected, and the state of soul of the people is therefore so low, that the greatest misery of these souls is inevitable. And if the soul is to be spared this misery in the hereafter, the person must be visited while still on earth, so that love may develop in him, so that one may try to make the earthly misery bearable for the other and thereby reduce the misery of the soul. For the soul needs other means than the body for its well-being. Only the works of love benefit the soul. Everything that the body denies itself in favor of the fellow human being, will help it to rise. And therefore people should always be anxious to suppress their self-love and to let everything, what seems desirable to them, go to the fellow human being. And so, if man strives for the maturity of his soul, he should also not neglect to help his fellow man to the maturity of his soul by willingly and joyfully giving him his knowledge about the truth. By instructing him about God, his infinite love and mercy, and about the actual earthly task of man. And if he succeeds in saving a soul from darkness, he has truly worked unselfishly in charity, and this earns him the most glorious reward. Because the spiritual misery among mankind is far greater than the physical tribulations. And therefore, practice love, so that you may have a redeeming effect on earth. Amen.